Okay, Moby Dick golf swing. Today we're gonna talk about P1 through P10, both from front view and side view or down the line view. Purpose of this is to, in case you are beginner, um, or if you are intermediate or even advanced, um, to understand the P1 through P10 is pretty critical. It helps you to form your swing better, and this is a good exercise for any golfers each day, just like certain people doing like a squat 100, 200 times a day, and then just like doing yoga, just become daily stretching and things like that. So if you love golf, doing P through 1 through 10 is very helpful. Okay, so and then also when you instruction, when you follow a golf swing in the video, this came about. This P1 through P10s came about recognizing certain position much easier. Okay, so P1 is all you know. I'm gonna just use instead of club log, I'm gonna use a lineman stick as well. Okay, so P1 is address position basically, and so when people talk about P1, that's your P1 right there. Okay, address beginning, and P2 is parallel to the stick down here, right in front of you, right on top of it, P2. And then parallel to that, that's called target line. And this is basically parallel to that, this straight line, okay? So P1, P2, and P3, I'm gonna just show you the basics of it right now. P3 is actually, that's a P3. Where the left arm is, characteristic is left arm is parallel to the ground. And also in lines with this one too. And then parallel with the first one too. A lot of geometry is involved here, okay? So P1, P2, okay? P3, just pointing right there, look at that. If there's a laser, there, it'll do that, P3. And P4, again, I'm not going to stretch fully to myself. P4 is, that's the P4 right there. Okay? If you do it correctly, let's say, this particular position is, if I lower it, again, exactly on that first line, including the second one, somewhere in here like that. Okay. And then P5 is here, back down to same position as a P3 in terms of arms and angle, pointing at, okay, to that first line there. P6 is almost identical as far as the P2 and P6, okay? But there's a lot of differences, obviously, but P6, this time again recognized by club shaft is parallel to the ground. P5, again, is left arm parallel to ground, okay? And then here's a magical P7. P1 was here, P7 is here, okay? And then P8, continue to trace it, P8 to here. When you see this here, again, it stands parallel to that line. And P9 is here, pointing it to that target line again. And P10 is identical as P4, again, parallel to that line. I can talk about general position of all the body as well biomechanically, but we are mainly concentrate on hands and arms on this discussion right now, limited to, okay? So let me finish it. From the front view, P1, P2, P3, P4, P5, P6, P7, P8, P9, P10. Okay. If you put the line, these two stick or line or laser, when you practice this, you probably realize from P7 here, P8, and P9, and P10. If you're too much inside out, you'll go like that. You'll go outside of that line. If you come over the top, but between P5, P6, you'll be coming over from that line instead of here. And then you'll go much this way. So this is P1 through P10 drill is basically end to end, meaning the club's here, tracing that line, and the here, and they come inside. So making that little bit of a circle that's end to end, out to in to out. Okay? So if you do this P1 through P10, it teaches you perfect end-to-end swing. Okay? P2, P6, P7, P8, P9, P10. Okay? Now I'll do it from the down the line, okay? Okay. P1, P2, P3, P4, P5, P6, P8, P9, P8, P9, P10. Okay. P1, P2, P3, P4, P5, P6, P7, P8, P9, P10. Obviously, P stands for position. Okay. All right. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about going in this way. Okay. The backswing, downswing. When you set it up, as you can see, this club is moving like that, and finishing back down like that. Okay, one more time. It's going in like that, and it continue on, obviously like that, and then down over here, and then come back down. This is basically what it's doing. So geometrically, it's making a circle in the inclined plane, like this, okay? But if you also is making straight line as well, as a golfer, is you're tracing this button of the club head towards this straight line. You don't think about turning, you just think about moving that towards that line, and then you feel like you're moving straight line rather than turning. So there's a certain teachings feels that this is more of linear motion rather than circular motion, okay? If you follow golfing machine and things like that, okay? All right, so when you are doing it now, P through P10, let's say you address the club originally here. So if I extend it here, that is your plane. So if I show you, watch this here, I'm gonna leave it here. So P1, P2, right? P3 has to be matched exactly with this angle, okay? And P4 over there, it'll be right there. P5, P6, P7, okay? So it has that perfect plane, sits it right here, right there, right there, right there. That's a P3, P5, right there, that plane, okay? That is the most, I would say, close to the perfect plane. So then here, that's the plane, P2, P3, and P4, P5, okay? So you have to basically aware of geometrically, and then practice P1 through P10. It'll give you flexibility. Later on, knows just like a plane has its own path, rather than it just, even if a wide open sky, it has a clear path. Airways is there. Just like the automobile has a clear highway, there's a path. Golf club, once it leaves the ground, it has certain path you have to travel so that it has a chance to hit the ball relatively straight, or certain pattern that you want to create. Okay, so get familiar with this P1 through P10. Okay, have a nice day.